Hello YouTube, this is Enigma coming at you with a Starcraft 2 video. This is a Protoss and Terran, Enigma and Merric, my teammate, versus Protoss and Zerg, Hamburglar and Gunner. Today we're going to look at the do's and don'ts of Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. So let's speed this up a little bit. This is always the boring first 5 minutes of the game, a little bit of scouting, probe making, you know the details at the beginning. Zerg over here, he's scouting like a good little Zerg. That's always a good thing. He's making a spawning pool pretty early in the game, and as you can see here, I put a simulator in. Always do that, for one, because, well, one, it's annoying, and two, for Zerg, it tricks the AI, and as soon as they come out, they attack that, and that annoys the user, so that they have to select them all, and, well, send them on their own, which gives you a few extra seconds. He actually comes over here and attacks me. Slow it down a little bit. My Zealots take out most of them, but of course they kill it with one coming out. As you can see here, I take everything off the mineral field. Always do that if they come at you with a 6 pool or more. Just because they're probes and they're weak, they can still do 5 damage a hit, and with the help of a Zealot, you will surely get them down. Over here, Merric, he's making a few Marines while I rebuild my workers and trying to, you know, get back from the fall I just had. Well, this guy over here, he's making cannons, effective beginning, but he also falls back in the end run. Down here, he's making an extra base fairly early. He's doing a early expansion at about 6 minutes into the game. That's not a bad time to expand, but it can also be very dangerous, because if you can see here, if we would have combined our forces and hit him, he would have surely have been dead, cannons or no cannons. Down here, he's actually turning into a 3-gate, while this guy over here is just clearly making Zerglings. Zerglings are also your best friend, but they can be your worst enemy if you mass produce them. Because if I was to make a few Colossuses, well, that'd be the end of them, wouldn't it? Now over here, I'm making a 2-gate, I'm making them into warp gates. I have about, you know, a good little bit of an army. This guy over here actually only has 3 units making into a 4-gate. And if you can actually see 8 minutes into the game, he still does not have gateways, or warp gates I should say. And actually, throughout the whole game, he does not transform them, as in you should as soon as you can. As soon as you get your gateway out, 1 or 2 of them, always make sure to go into a cybernetics core, and right as soon as it's up, you should have 50 gas, and put it up right then and there and start it in chrono boots every time you can. You've actually probably seen this bit a few times here actually, where you put a base and not destroy the rocks. Actually, it's a very good idea as Zerg, but what he should have done is put it right here, because 2 things. One, there's more mineral fields right here, which means less time in which his units have to go. If he puts it here, he only has availability to 2 that are close, and, well, when you have to mine, you know, at a farther distance, less time that you have, and all that good stuff. Actually, Merric here, he expands. I go to expand, and then I destroy the rocks over here, and I quit it. I turn over here into a 4-gate, and I make a few more pylons, because, you know, pylons are a good thing. One thing I want to point out is, this guy here, he's still making Zerglings and Banelings only. And it's still a bad thing. This guy over here is actually mass stalkering. Mass stalkering, I will say this, I'm all for mass stalkering. It is not a bad thing. But when you do not have warp gates, it is a very bad thing, because 2 things. Well, for one, if you make warp gates, it's a 30-second cooldown related to a 42-second cooldown. Yes, a 42-second cooldown on, or not cooldown, but cast time. Even if you have 10 bases up and you're constantly chrono boosting, you will run out of time eventually. And I mean, come on, who wants to make 10 bases? So this whole if it dies, boom, you have no more stalkers and you can't get them out fast enough. Over here, I'm doing a little bit of smart blinking. Smart blinking basically is when you tell them to go right here and you have something to where you can see, instead of just blinking everything at once from where they are now down here, you will inevitably leave some up there. You will always do that. Now, but see, if you have them walk to a certain point and then you shift blink down, They will go to the spot, keep running, and then they will go down and blink all at once. It's very nice. It's wonderful. See over here, I see that he is mass stalkering, and I start to pump out immortals with robotic facilities. Even though that he has 3 bases, he has a nice income, but he's not using it to his advantage. At this time, if I was him, I would have made a 4th base. Just for one, it's always nice to have more bases, more minerals, faster units pop out. Now, if he would have made about another 6 gateways, and if he would have made them into warp gates, this game outcome could have become a little bit different. And sentries, do not forget about sentries. Sentries, your best friend. The force fields may seem as if they don't do anything, but I'll show you an example to where they do wonders, alright? And it actually probably maybe have won us the game, because if I wouldn't have used the force field, my base probably would have been gone. Merric is over here. He's got a handful of Marines, handful of Marauders, and a few Thors. Thors are always amazing, and don't forget to bring in repair bots with them, or the SCVs to repair them. And if you have a planetary fort, or whatever this one is, the orbital command, mules, you can send them in and they can repair. I'm actually going to slow the video down because this is actually the main fight and the star point of the video. As you can see, he has a decent amount of banelings and a decent amount of zerglings. He's actually going to kill this one guy. I can see what he actually has, and actually he becomes right here. And this right here is what I'm talking about with the sentries. I take my sentries, and boom, force field. What does that do? It stops him from attacking me, and Merric intercepts him with his Thors. And what this does is, the Zerg guy is inevitably, he's going to send in his banelings, as so. Which gives my guys a view, and I can see them. I actually put a force field right here because, one, that opens up the split between the stalkers and the banelings and let all the banelings come through. After that, I bring in my guys, I blink them down. Always a good thing to do, just so you know you can have your guys in, and then that kind of makes this portion of the units here attack my guys. And then over here, as you can see, my guys are just plummeting through his with immortals because immortals are awesome and everybody loves them. We get rid of this army pretty well. Most of his stuff dies, then my immortals come in, and then you know what? Well, we're just going to rape you in the face, and we don't like you. Well, this guy over here, he is still making a few stalkers, and as you can see, he has plenty of minerals, not enough gas. On that note, if he sees all these immortals, he should have been making zealots, and that would have probably gotten him somewhere. Actually, if you can see, he doesn't have charge for the zealots. Always get charge. I can't stress enough how much you want that. Zealots are incredibly slow, and charge is always a good thing. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. Basically, we just continue on. We go into his base, we wreck stuff up. And if you notice, photon cannons, they're armored. If you ever see a protoss, this angers me so much, and they just put cannons everywhere throughout their base, always make immortals, because for one, they're good meat shields, because two things. Their energy shields, they only take 10 damage each, no matter how much energy they have. If they have 1 energy left to their shield, they'll take 10 damage. And if you micro them properly and take the most damaged one out and put it in the back, his shield should be up very quickly. Let me demonstrate if I can find one and put the speed down to normal gameplay. You can actually see it goes up at a pretty fair rate, which is also amazing. And if you can see here in this guy, he's still making stalkers. I don't know why, and they're still not warp gates. Actually, he hasn't even trained them, and he's trying to do a last-ditch attempt and train up his attack. I actually think he gets it all the way to 3, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter because immortals, they are going to wreck everything. This guy over here, he's still making zerglings. It's surprising to me. Yes, I know. And look how many minerals he has. 3,600. Any smart zerg player at this time would make a few more bases, a few more queens. Queens are always great against anti-air. And at this point, this guy leaves. He gives up. And then the other guy leaves, and I just kind of continue wreaking havoc. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you for joining Enigma, me, myself, and my partner, Merric. So, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do. Come back in a few more days, and I'll probably have another video of Starcraft 2, or hey, you never even know. It might be a totally different game. Oh! Alright, YouTube. You have a good one.